Yeah, so I think I remember recently Djokovic talking about that this kind of on this sort of subject area, saying that it kind of links back to the breath work that you talked about, is you're going to naturally have these kind of negative thoughts or thoughts that kind of take you away from being in that moment, but it's about how you take yourself back into that moment, right? How quickly can you recenter yourself into the present moment? I think that's quite a important point that I think like everyone can kind of relate to that and use that kind of that method or that ideology of, you know what, recognizing that your mind is drifting, whether that's like, getting frustrated about a shot someone's hit or the shot that you've hit, and then trying to, as quickly as you can, recognize that and then bring yourself back into the kind of present moment. And like that technique that you mentioned there about the almost like the box breathing, or just be paying attention to your breath. I think that's like a kind of not simple necessarily, but like a method that pretty much anyone could use. Yeah, challenging.
I challenge anyone to do it for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
If anyone on this listening to this can do that for 2 minutes, then you got potential.
That's the thing, right? We get like distracted by like so many more things these days. It's just, like your phone, or I don't know, just different stimuli going on everywhere. Things are fighting for your attention. I think maybe it's just making it harder now to do these kind of things, which is why even like you said, maybe even like a meditation practice or something for like even 5 minutes a day could be, I don't know, before you go to bed or when you wake up, something like that. Just practices that kind of that technique, right, and that kind of pathway, and then maybe makes it easier for you to follow that in a match. So that's
just reminded me, Ben, about something I told one of my players recently, which is, you're talking about tools. Like, how can we? What can I say to give people listening like some tool to help? A lot of the times, it's perspectives. So if I give it a perspective now and the person listens to this just acts as if it's true, they will go on court and play differently. For example, think about this like analogy. When you go on the court in the air, in the invisible air, there's loads of negative thoughts that they exist before you even walk on court. And there's loads of positive thoughts that exist. They're just flying over the net, just there. But what makes them come like reality is your attention to them. So whether you believe whatever you want to believe about your forehand or backhand, whatever, it's all true. All the negative stuff's true and all the positive stuff's true. So it's just when you're picking and choosing what to give your attention to. And I've realized recently that there's one moment in each tennis match where when the player decides to give the attention to the negative thought, as soon as that moment starts, the whole match is now a battle. It's completely shifted. If you can keep that as far away as you can until literally to shake hands, and maybe at the end of the day, if you can get through the whole match without giving in to one of those negative thoughts for too long, then it's much easier. But I've realized now that when I'm watching like the juniors on tour and everything, the best players are able to keep those negative thoughts at bay. Yes, they're having them, but they keep them at bay. They give more attention to the positive, and they don't give the energy to the negative as much. And that enables them to just have lots more energy and be positive. So there's just this one moment per match I see in players that they just give in a little bit too long to the negative area. And then now it's just, everything's a big deal. The strings aren't working, or my shoes are too big, or the weather. So
the wind.
I would tell players, even at local level, the wind. I would just advise players that if you can keep that at bay for the whole match, then you're going to have a better development rate.
Yeah, because it affects, like you said, just your general energy, right? It kind of becomes harder to get into, I don't know, position quicker, or get to the ball quick enough, or even see like positive options in the shots you're going to hit. Different things like that. It kind of all kind of feeds into that, right? So, it's sounds simple, but is very difficult in practice. And I suppose that almost comes down to not just the time maybe before, during, and after the match in that kind of, I don't know, those few hours, but just generally in your day-to-day life as well. Is like, if you can practice some of these things, that's going to feed into when you actually do hit the court or even play whatever other sport that you play. I think you can't just, it's hard to just switch that kind of process on, right? Just when you go into a match. It's
exactly.
You've got to practice.
It has to be
regularly.
Practiced. It's like a habit.
Hey there, tennis friends. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed that episode, then you might want to click here for this one. See you there.